Oh, we got some viewers here. Good evening, Nikki, Hermione, Denise. Well, one good thing about it, and I might have prepared for this before I saw my face on screen. I was saying to myself, when I finally see my face on the screen, I'm not gonna be scared. Because usually I scare myself. Go, whoa! This time I was determined not to do it. You think I'd be used to it by now? So anyway, it's straight up 6 o'clock, and we're gonna give it a couple more minutes to see if anybody shows up. How are you all doing today? You always say that, Denise. Anyway, so I don't guess I'll scare the crap out of myself anymore from here on in. So we're gonna give it just about a minute or two. You might hear a little background noise, and that's today. That's because that's my fan. Because when I got home from church today, I had to turn off my air conditioning unit because when I went downstairs, there was a little problem with the inside unit. But not to worry. It's a bit of an inconvenience, but it's no fire, it's no flood, and it's no medical emergency. So I'm sure I can deal with this inconvenience, overnight and take care of that in the morning. So anyway, today I'm going to be interviewing Sabrina Mays and Hermione Alease Carnes, both of whom I know are not nervous in the least. Okay, so I'm going to read briefly from each of their bios. I probably won't read it all because as we talk, you're going to be finding out more about them. And so I'm going to have Hermione come on first, but let me do just a brief introduction. Hermione Alease Carnes is chef, chief hospitality engineer for fabulous events. I'm liking that, for fabulous events, not just run of the mill, but fabulous events. And owner of Elijah's House of Food Services, LLC, doing business as Alease's Edibles. She began her catering service in 2001 in Fairfield, Alabama. She has worked as a chef instructor, personal chef, pastry and baking service contractor, and pop-up restaurateur. She obtained a Bachelor of Science degree in accounting from the University of Alabama at Birmingham and Associate of Arts from the culinary school at Virginia College. Hermione believes that all of her gifts, including training and writing, have enabled her to touch lives that she never would have encountered. Okay, there's a bit more. We're going to talk about that as I have a discussion with her. So, Hermione, I'm going to go ahead and bring you on, and then Sabrina, in just a minute, I'm going to introduce you as well and bring you on. So, I'm ready to invite you, Hermione. Okay, it's countdown time. 19, 18, 17, 16. Last week we did a test during the end of the interview with Dr. Maleth and Patricia, Minister Patricia, and at the end, Hermione came on, so we tested then. So if we have a problem, I'm sure that it's only going to be temporary. We're going to try it again. If this doesn't work this time, I'm going to go ahead and introduce Sabrina, and then we'll keep trying to get Hermione on. Hermione, if you, oh, Sabrina, come on, you've been through this before. Hermione, do you think you may have any idea about what's going on? I don't recall last week if we had the same problem having a delay with you signing on. So if you think you might know what that is, type it in here and just let me know, and at least we'll know what it is, and maybe we can get it figured out. Okay, I'm gonna do you one more time, and then I'm gonna hit up Sabrina. They say third time is the charm, so maybe this is gonna be it. Hermione says, ditto, Sabrina. She's nervous too. Come on, Hermione. That's right. Come on. Connect. Okay. All right. We're not going to give up all hope. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce Sabrina. Sabrina Mays is a Birmingham native. She attended Ramsey High School and earned her Bachelor of Science degree in Justice Sciences from the University of Alabama at Birmingham and an MBA in Human Resource Management from American Intercontinental University. She is an active member in the community, serves as board member for Brave Inc., the Birmingham Public Library Young Professionals Board, Latch and Live Foundation, Travelers Aid of Greater Birmingham, and Beyond Boundaries LLC. She's pretty busy, as you can see. She is also secretary for the Birmingham chapter of the Continental Societies Incorporated. Sabrina is a mother of 2 and the youngest of 5 siblings. In 2001, she began Cardiff Retirement Community, Inc., now known as Brave Inc., a nonprofit which serves low-income seniors and children by providing creative opportunities to improve their quality of life through healthy initiatives, physical fitness, and nutritional education. During her service, she has assisted over 300 families within Jefferson County, Alabama, by providing meals to low-income seniors residing in assisted living facilities. Okay, Sabrina, her name is Sabrina Mays. You may hear me refer to her as Nikki. That's short for her nickname, which is Nicole. I think it's Nicole. It's been a long time. Sabrina Nicole. So yes, it is Sabrina Nicole Mays. So I'm going to invite you, Nikki, and if you would just accept, we're going to get you logged on. Okay, don't tell me it's me today. Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Okay. Oh, come on now. Nikki, did you try to accept, or did you see where or how to accept? Hey, Janora, we're having some issues here for just a second. There she go. Hey. Look, now that I don't scare the crap out of myself, I'm still going to be very excited when people finally show up. I'm just going to be overjoyed. So, like, give me five. Look on that. Very good. What was the problem? What happened?
I changed to my tablet.
You did? Okay. All right. Well, you know what? It's all a learning experience. This is still a new platform. And, eventually we'll get over the kinks. If one thing doesn't work, we can always try something else. I have done your introduction. I'm going to try to get Sabrina in here again. Nikki, were you on a laptop at first, Hermione, or desktop?
No, I was on my phone.
You were on your phone. Okay. So, Nikki, I don't know what you're working from, but Hermione was on her phone and she switched to her tablet. So maybe you're not connecting because of your device. And you may try your phone. I don't know. I don't know that if you have an Android phone, I'm not sure if it works very well with this. I know that if you have an iPhone or iOS, it works well. Also, if you're on a computer, you need to use your Chrome browser and not Internet Explorer. You can use Chrome. I believe you can use what's that other one? I can't remember the name of it. But if you have Chrome, try to use this. We're gonna try her one more time. If she doesn't come in this time, we're gonna give her a minute to get herself together, and then Hermione, you and I are gonna start. Go ahead and start, okay?
Okay.
Let's see what happens this time. I don't know why I got this song over here. Bernadette! Okay, look, everybody out here probably knows that song except maybe Nikki. You ever heard Bernadette? Bernadette? Okay, all right, so we're going to go ahead and get started with Hermione Carnes. How are you today, lady?
I'm doing great.
Doing great. Very good. Very good to hear that. And let me just do a brief introduction. My name is Sharita Cadenhead. This is Renew, Refresh, Reset Your Life. And this is my podcast, and I have an associated blog. And what I like to do here is talk with people and interview people who have made some major changes in their lives, or some significant changes in their lives and what they do for a living, some adjustment that they've made personally along that level. And then sometimes we talk about some stuff that's a little uncomfortable to talk about, okay? And the good thing about that is that somebody always benefits when somebody steps up to a plate and talks about those things that are a little bit uncomfortable, okay? So Hermione is a chef in Georgia. Is that right? Do you operate anywhere else outside of Georgia?
Alabama too.
Okay, you work in Georgia and Alabama. You've been a chef since 2001. Now, and I was reading a bit of your bio. Of course, Hermione is a co-author on the One Word book. Hang on a second. Nikki, you might try logging completely out of your browser and then reconnecting in Chrome. So why don't you try that? So in your bio, it seems that to some degree you knew well before 2001 that you were going to be a caterer, right?
Yeah.
Would you say that's true?
Well, I've been cooking since the age of probably 8 with my dad.
Okay. With your dad, okay. And I've been cooking probably since yesterday, okay.
Yeah. So
yeah, and I'm not really trying to get it right.
I had the easy baker oven and the little pouches with the mix and the little oven, things like that. I did it in high school and did it in college to make extra money. So I just didn't really realize you could actually go into business and like really.
Until when?
Until
when did you realize?
Until after college, really.
Really?
Yeah.
And so
I just had my friends, they were encouraging me, well, you should do this. And I'm like, well, no, let me get a degree and go to work, get a job. That was my path.
Yeah, but you said you didn't think you could do this as a business. And I mean, surely you knew people that did this as a business, right?
Yeah, but I just, I didn't think I could do it.
You didn't think you could do it. Okay. Now, see, that's a big difference right there. That's a big difference. And so, I mean, really it is, because surely you eat, right? You were eating this. So you had to know. So, and so was that you? Okay, you said you didn't know that you could do it. Was that a confidence issue?
Of course. Exactly.
Yeah, it was a confidence issue because you knew you could cook.
Right.
People loved your food.
Right.
People were encouraging you to do it. So that element was there. So what changed to go from not having confidence to being confident enough to step out and say, I'm going to give it a try?
I believe it was my faith level in Christ. I didn't really start until after my father died.
Okay.
So just he and I would talk about different things, and he would just encourage me, hey, you can do certain things. And I know something about him leaving encouraged me to step out. And like I said, also my faith strengthened at the same time.
Yeah. So he would, while he was living, he was always encouraging you to step out. Okay. And so I'm not really going to get into the afterlife, something like that or anything like that. But, people speak to you well after they're gone. Does your father still speak to you? I mean, do you still hear his voice? And I'm sure you probably, I won't say I'm sure that you do, but yeah. And so there's certain, would they be moments where, that he's maybe spoken to you before, but like, did I tell you? Okay. What did I tell you about that? Is it that kind of moments where he shows up?
Yes, exactly. And a lot of things, I did mention dreams, but a lot of times things come through my son, and I have to look at him and say, okay, he, that's something my dad would tell me, because my son encourages me as well.
Okay, so come through your son how?
Like when people meet Seth, they automatically know that he's like an old soul, because he does a lot of wisdom to be 7.
Okay. Oh, he's 7. Okay, yeah.
So he would just tell me things like, he's been encouraging me now, Mom, you need to get on a cooking show. You need to do Chopped. You need to do things like that. And he's the one running around with the camera and the cell phone videotaping me while I'm cooking. He's the one doing it.
Oh, really? Yeah. So, like, look, you're gonna. So, like shows like that, you have to do the demo. Is that what he's doing? He's preparing your demo tape.
Yes.
Is he really? I think that's great. I think that's great. How do you feel about being on camera?
As I told you earlier, I was a little nervous. But I think I'm a little bit more comfortable with myself, so I think I could do it.
Okay, and so and you're comfortable now?
Yes, I am.
Okay, because you have this gracious host, right?
You are fabulous. Just fabulous.
Thank you. Well, look, I think that's really good of your son to encourage you like that. And he's absolutely correct. So are you giving some thought to these shows? Like
actually,
but I don't anymore.
Let me back up a little bit, Sharita. Actually, I have tried out for Hell's Kitchen, and I did try out for MasterChef.
Okay.
With Hell's Kitchen, again, those shows you have to have a very big personality, and I'm more strong and kind of quiet. I didn't go past the first round, but with MasterChef, I passed the second round because they love me, but again, I'm just kind of withdrawn.
Yeah. Let me think about that. What can you? So, and I'm assuming that you're going to try again.
Yes, I will.
Okay. Well, first of all, back up because Hell's Kitchen and MasterChef. Okay, how much? That's a strong personality clash right there. I mean, you got, your skin. You got to prep your skin for that.
Exactly.
Because, I don't know. It's like you got to put on a layer of leather to deal with him because he's tough.
Yeah, but I agree with a lot of the things that he says. So I think I would probably do, as far as technique and food wise, that I think I would.
Yeah. Okay.
I follow the same ideas as he does.
Yeah, okay. So if you go on MasterChef or Hell's Kitchen, let's say if you make one before the other, would you still be able to go on like, let's say you made MasterChef, okay? You went there and you made it. Would you still be able at some point to go on Hell's Kitchen?
I don't believe you can. I don't believe you can.
Okay. Well, I hope you get on the one that you want the most, okay? I'm not going to say which one I'd like to see you on just for your own sanity's sake, and so I won't be freaking out, okay, when I see you. Okay, but I hope you get on whichever one of those you want. Are those the only ones that you're trying for?
Yeah, for right now.
Okay. So, but I heard you mention Chopped.
Yeah.
And that's is that a fast paced?
I have had a friend tell me to try for that one too. So I don't know. It just depends.
Yeah. And I know that they're recording all that, and I'm wondering if Chopped is as fast paced, because it seems a lot more fast paced than MasterChef, and Hell's Kitchen, because does it seem that way? We're talking cookies, so I'm not the expert. I'm not the expert.
Well, I've been in certain situations where you had a certain amount of ingredients on a certain amount of time, and you had to just get it done. So it would be just.
It probably wouldn't matter, right? You're gonna do it in 30 minutes or 30 seconds or whatever, or you're not, right? Okay, I got it. Well, look, let's backtrack for a minute because I know you worked at Bell South for a while, right? Okay, and were you doing it? You were at some point. Let's say this because you weren't ready to go out on a limb then. Okay. And so, and you know how we do, especially when you got an entrepreneurial spirit, you hang on to that safety net.
Exactly.
Okay. Did you like what you did at Bell South?
I like the training.
You don't think you don't think you have to go back, right? Because we can talk about this if you don't like it. Tread lightly.
I enjoyed training. I did. It's just something about seeing that spark go off in a person. And I like getting to know people and figuring out where they can learn.
Right.
For them. So that was very interesting to me.
You trained?
Yeah, I trained the new customer service reps. Particularly, I trained a visually impaired service rep.
Okay. So, all right. And you were there for how long?
5.5 years.
5.5 years. And so when you what was going through your head when you said, okay, I'm leaving? Hey, what was that thought process like? Well, like, how long had you thought about leaving? And once you thought about it, how long did it take? How much time did you spend saying, okay, I'm leaving. I'm gonna do it for real now. I'm doing this. How long of a process was that?
Really about 1.5 years.
About 1.5 years.
It began to weigh down on me because I was catering, and catering is not easy. It's not like you can, I don't mean to put down any other profession, but it's not like for a couple of hours, but it's a lot of time and temperature and just a lot of other avenues that go into it. I was tired. Like I was working the 9 to 6 or whatever shift I had, and then I had to make sure that the food was perfect and on time. So I'm like, okay, what's gonna happen? I can't make it. I've got to decide what's gonna be done.
So. Yeah. So it took about 1.5 years.
But like the last 6 months, that's when I received a word from God. It was Hebrews 5:11, and in that particular scripture, it talked about how your faith being small, and I think he compares it to milk, and you're wanting to eat meat. You have to grow like a baby.
Yeah, right. Okay.
For me, that's what ignited that for me.
Yeah, and so what kind of support system did you have during that time period? So, I know your friends were encouraging you, okay?
Friends and family. Well, family mostly.
Family as well, okay? Because a lot of times you have people saying, girl, you want to quit that good job, that good job, right? Yeah, that's what they do. That good job, you got that gold watch waiting on you in 35 years. You can't quit, give all that up.
Well, to tell you the truth, Sharita, I'm the type of person where I'm very private. So I had actually turned in the resignation and done everything. And it was like 2 weeks before I kind of like did a conference call with my family.
Okay.
I've done this. This is what I'm going to do because I didn't want any chatter.
Yeah.
Because it had already been a long time. I had been fasting and praying and to be sure. And so that's how I did it.
So, and that was 2 weeks before you left your job.
No, 2 weeks after.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to say, how can you wait till afterwards? You waited till it was too late. Yeah, that was a good strategy. So they didn't have any chance. They didn't have any choice but to be on board with you at that point. Totally to lend all their support. Yeah, wholeheartedly. And that I know you can do this. And not have that same safety net that you may have been holding on to. So nobody had that right now. It was just all on you, and you needed the support from people who cared and loved about you to make that happen. And guess what? It happened. Yeah, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And so you came from you said you had an accounting degree.
Yes.
Yeah. So numbers, numbers and cooking. How does that mesh? Does it in some kind of psychological way?
I think it helps me tremendously because there are a lot of measurements. There's time, there's temperature, there's calculating how to make profits.
Yeah. Yeah, for
Definitely.
sure. Yes.
So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good move.
it was kind of like, but um, it all meshes together. It works together.
Okay.
Accounting really helps me with that.
Okay. All right. Let's take a few minutes here. Let me see what's going on with Sabrina. I'm gonna check over here in the live chat. Nikki, do you have? I'm still trying to get on. You don't have. Okay, and you tried your phone. Now you're trying the desktop. Okay, desktop in Chrome. So I'm gonna invite you again and see what happens there. Oh, you know what, Nikki? Do you have a camera on your desktop? Does your desktop have a camera? Because it's gonna have to have a camera. Yes, it does. I don't know what's going on there. And you did keep saying fail to publish. Fail to publish. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got it. Fail to publish. I don't know. I don't have any idea what that means. Because you are so when I hit invite, do you see something that says accept? I think that's what you're supposed to see. Something that says accept. Yes, and you hit accept. Well, I don't know what to tell you. Could it be your location? Could it be your location? Uh, you're maybe at a bad spot where you are, maybe moving to another room or something like that. Let's try that and see what happens. If that doesn't work, we're gonna have to try to figure out something else for you. Um, but so try that, and then I'll come back to you in just a minute. Okay. So, but you did get your bachelor's degree in accounting,
Yeah.
and did you work in accounting at all?
Actually, I had a job with Regions Bank before
Mm-hmm.
I finished. So I was with Regions Bank for 3.5 years.
3.5 years. What did you do there?
Uh, I was in corporate training, and once I got my degree, I got into accounting.
You got into
So
accounting. Okay, very, very good, very good.
I design training material.
Okay, so you've been a chef since 2001. Now it says you've been a personal chef and a pastry and baking services contractor. What do you still do pastries and all of that? Is there what do you have a specialty?
Um, right now, it is just the savory food. Mainly, I'm just out doing catering. I love to do pastries, but the savory takes so much more of my time that I don't really get a chance to do that
Okay,
anymore. And I do
okay,
offer that as a service. Like if you just
okay.
want me to do
And
that.
so how do we define savory?
Savory just is everything else besides
Everything
not sweet.
everything else not pastry. So if you ask me how would I define savory, I would say mouth watering. Okay, food is mouth watering. Okay, because like right now I'm thinking, boy, I could just use a juicy something, And so to me, that's savory. That's really savory. So are you at the well? When you're in business, I don't know if you ever reach a height because I'm of the mindset that you should always be reaching higher. So where are you in your catering business, and where would you like to go if you're not at the height of it?
I'm not at the height of it.
Uh-huh.
Uh, there are a lot of, but it seems like in business, I don't know, well, for me, you take 2 steps forward, you have to take a step back. You,
Mm-hmm.
you learn from your mistakes and what have you. Going forward, I think I do want to do maybe like a food truck or something.
Oh, that would
Something
be
like
really
that. I don't
good.
really want to do a full on scale um, restaurant. I've tried the pop up restaurant tour where I did that like once a week. I would go to different locations, and
Mm-hmm.
that was fun. But you kind of can get the same thing with a food truck. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Also, I think I want to do, now that I'm writing, I want to do a cookbook, but I want a storyline with it, with the recipes.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. It'd be good if Master Chef could put all that for you, the cookbook, because that's what you get, right? That's what you get. You get a cookbook out of the deal, and some money, So that'd be great. That'd be great. Look, that'll shoot you right up, you know. Yeah, that'll shoot you. That'll shoot you up. So you did the pop up, and so you're thinking of a food truck. So how often would you do a pop up?
that was once a week in
Once
different.
a week. And so how, if you had a food truck, what would that be like? Cause do you have a staff?
I right now I have some of my former students that I used to teach. I
Mm-hmm.
use them as staff members.
Okay. Okay. And you would also, I'm assuming, staff your food truck?
Right, with them.
Okay, because yeah, I mean, how much time? Because realistically, you couldn't be on the truck all the time, could you? Would it be daily?
Um, it would just depend. I would think maybe 3 to 4 locations a week. I would just, go to
Okay.
different places unless I
Yeah.
needed to go for an out of town event or what have you. So, because
Okay.
you can do as many trucks as you want. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Once you get that set up. So,
Oh, really? Yeah, and food trucks are really popular. I mean, people love it. Of course they love the food naturally. But I mean, yeah, they love the food. But the food truck industry has gotten such a great response from people.
right.
Yeah, I mean, I know some people that I mean, I work at UAB, and I know people who, particularly students, they rarely go to the restaurant. They would take the food truck, over a restaurant for lunch just because they rave about it so much. So that's a good deal. So you would have the idea is to have multiple trucks.
Right. Hmm.
Yeah, and that's not nearly as intensive as having just a standalone restaurant, huh? Is
Uh,
that
the restaurant is it's a it's pretty intense work. The food truck is intense as well, but
yeah,
I enjoy the variety of just being in different
the
places.
mobility?
Right.
And yeah, okay,
Also
okay.
out doing maybe like a cupcake bar or something like that. Just something small and intimate. I don't want to
Yeah. A cupcake. So a cupcake bar. What exactly is that?
just a place where you can go just to get different type of specialty cupcakes and sit down and maybe drink coffee or tea or
Like a
something.
Starbucks?
Right.
Oh, that would be yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good. That'd be good. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I'm just thinking because I don't know. You all know I'm trying to lose a little weight, right? Okay, so we can't stay on cupcakes too long. We gotta be moving on. We gotta be moving on to another topic real soon. Give me a diet coke and that cream filled cupcake or whatever. So, but in long term,
Mhm.
beyond the food trucks, do you think that there will ever be a time where you might want a restaurant, or that's just hard to say?
If it happens, if that's what God feels that I need to do, I'll follow it.
You'll follow it. Okay. Okay. All
Now,
right.
it's pretty hard work. It's pretty hard work.
Yeah.
A lot of
Well,
people see the glamour of it. It's not a lot of
oh
glamour.
no, I can imagine that. I don't look. I'm like, I don't know how these people do it. You gotta be here 5 o'clock in the morning. Of course, the only thing I have to go by is like Hell's Kitchen, right? So So that's not a great example. And all those other food shows, which are such high pressure. But now, even not just kidding, but even beyond that, these restaurants and some restaurants, any restaurant that I frequent, there's not fast food, just a dining style, a restaurant. You think of how early they have to get there in the morning, be prepared, your staff for the kitchen, great wait staff, a massive amount of personality to deal with. I imagine, and this is any workplace, but 100 times in a restaurant when you have different personalities, you have when you have egos probably to deal with when you're trying to staff the restaurant. Okay. Yeah, so I'm not trying to talk you out of anything. I think, because, Stewart's West didn't exist. I don't know what I'd do for some of that noodle soup I love. But anyway, so we'll see about that. But I hope the food trucks, come into fruition. So you do out of Georgia and Birmingham. If you had food trucks, would you have them in both locations?
Yes.
You would? Okay. Yeah, so and talking about a restaurant, but operating out of 2 different states. So yeah, that's got to be tough too. So I think, I think you could probably weather the restaurant too. And I'm not trying to talk you into a restaurant. I'm just thinking about, the level of your psyche, to manage all this, particularly in 2 states. In either case, it's got to be pretty intense.
Right. No,
yeah.
I think if it comes to me, I'm at the point right now, if it comes to me, if I get a feeling about it, then meaning
it's already gonna be worked out.
I'm gonna try to push for it. I'm gonna take the opportunity.
Yeah. Okay. Because if God give it to you, He gonna give you the plan too anyway. So that's just a done deal. But so, would you do the cupcake thing on the food trucks? Yeah, because you have some trucks that like at UAB, there's some trucks that they have some kind of, I don't know, when my grandson was going to camp, this, I forget the name of the truck, but it showed up every Thursday. I don't think it had food, it just had some kind of drink or something. Yeah. And yeah, I think people would. I think people would, knock people out of the way to get to a food truck that has specialty cupcakes. I do. They look forward to that. They would. They look forward to that. They've been looking for the cupcakes for the meal, and then the truck next door with the food for the dessert. That's how people work. They lust after stuff this delicious. So that'd be a combination of sweet and savory. Hey, see there? See? I'm talking the talk now, sweet and savory. Yeah, you're so silly. Okay, has anybody got? Let me see here what we got. Still, Sabrina, Nikki, I don't know what to say. My daughter needs to work with her. Yeah, Sabrina's daughter, Chloe, loves to cook.
Okay.
Yeah, she loves to cook, and really, I think at one point, and probably. And I know Nikki's been looking, and at some point I try to make some connections with people because I understand that you have to train to go on these shows. Okay, so you and Sabrina may need to talk, and maybe you can either provide some pointers or some help in some kind of way because I understand that I haven't had any of Chloe's food, but I understand she's a talented cook. She's a talented young cook. Yeah. How does Chloe? Nikki? Let's see. How does Chloe, Nikki? She's 10. She's 10, and she loves to cook, and she's really into these cooking shows. She's she's young, she's smart, she's committed. Yeah. Look, we get a lot of grown folks tonight. We can't even say all those attributes about, right? So, yeah, already at 2 years old, and one of her things she wants to do is go on like MasterChef, because they have the thing for kids. So I'm pretty certain that she'll do that. So, we got the book, and we're not gonna really talk about that. We're gonna do that on another episode. And since we couldn't get Sabrina on here, and she and I will probably try to figure that out after we end this. I wasn't doing a test, particularly with those who have been watching, because you all have kind of seen how it goes. So I'll have to work something out with Sabrina to see how we can get her on, and perhaps she can come on. Next Sunday is supposed to be Carol, Nikki, and she's being interviewed, I think, by herself. So we might can get you on with Carol, because Thursday we have Denise and we have Donna T. Brown. So maybe we can get you on next Sunday with Carol. So for anybody who wants to be a chef, what would you? Okay, very good. What would you say to them?
For me, technique is important, but know your customer.
But know your customer. Know your customer. You have to, because with any kind of business, they always say, well, you have to know who your customer is. So not only after you become a chef is it important you know your customer, before you become a chef, you have to know what kind of customer you want to cater to.
Exactly.
Yeah. You do. You have to know that. You have to know that.
A lot of people get into cooking, like I said, it's fabulous, it's really glamorous, but to me it's a form of connection ministry.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Do you minister to people who don't cook?
Yes.
For those of us who don't care if a house has a kitchen, we can use an igloo, right, for all the bottled water. Yeah.
And just like I had an intern that worked with me last summer, and she was torn between majoring in hospitality and majoring in nutrition sciences. And I encouraged her to do both, because she could, to take it on both, because you're going to need that on down the line. You need to be able to meet the customer where they are. And a lot of trends are going towards better eating, healthier eating. So that nutrition will in turn, help her with that. So
yeah. That's true, and even in hospitality, I mean, you have to, particularly with with people who have certain dietary needs. Okay, even in hospitality, she has to understand those nutritional needs and be able to and serve those people at the same time. Okay, so with transitions into to health and diets, and I don't know a lot about this, and you may have to explain some things to me, okay? So let's talk about vegan, because I hear that and I don't really know what it is. I keep I don't really know what it is. And
vegans are people who do not eat. I guess it's anything that is able to, I guess, like possibly reproduce, because they're not going to eat milk. Well, they don't want to drink milk or eggs or anything like that, or cheese. But it's just
okay.
Right there.
So what do they eat?
Just fruits, vegetables, anything, like I said, that comes out of the ground.
Okay, fruit. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You know what? That's the best that anyone has ever explained that comes out of the ground. How about stuff like bread? Because I hear when people talk about vegan or yeast, is it something about bread or yeast?
Too. That is grown from a different plants. That's grown from the ground as well. And your wheat for your flour, things of that nature, all of that is still plant.
Okay, so they do eat that. Okay, I was thinking that they didn't. Okay, but no cheese or anything like that. Well, okay, all right.
A vegan type cheese, but it's still
Mm-hmm.
the materials
Okay.
that make it up are still plant-based.
Okay, and so we have vegan, and then there's another term that's fairly let's say new, but probably only new to me. I forget what this vegan and oh, I can't think of the name of the word. I heard it I see it on this commercial all the time. This guy says, well, they say you can't have this in your foods. And he said, that's just something that they say because no foods can have that anyway. Anyway, so if that comes to me, I'll go ahead and ask you. So anyway, so you're doing the one word book, and we're going to be talking about that probably next month in September. I'm going to have all the authors come back. I probably will have at least 3 of you at a time, and we're going to do it in successive days rather than twice a week. So we got to get all that done in 1 week. But I will ask you. I read your chapter. I loved it. I love reading stories or things that makes me visualize while I'm reading it, while I make me feel like I'm in the moment. And yours just happened to be listen, and so I was very tuned in, to what you were saying, despite the subject of cooking. I was still tuned in. I was still tuned in. I was very much tuned in, and to me, that's what storytelling is all about. I reviewed a book for a young lady that reached out to me on Facebook, and it's a book of poetry, and she asked me to do a review, and it was a very good review because usually in poetry, poetry is almost like those very personal thoughts. And so when I read poetry, that's kind of, they're just sitting down and writing, and this is what they're thinking at the moment. So it puts me in somebody's head. And so that's what your story did. It put me inside of your head. So anyway, so Susie don't have Sabrina, and Sabrina don't leave home because I'm gonna call you right after and see what's going on. We can talk about what's happening with you, so you'll be ready next Sunday. Anyway, Hermione, I want to thank you for coming today. And also thank you for doing the test the other day, for thinking about doing that and bring it to my attention to see if we can do it while we were doing the other interview. So that was a really great idea. I see you got great lighting tonight. Yeah. I'm like, just look, don't come on in the prayer closet, okay? Because that'll give you good lighting.
Okay.
Yeah, so very good. Well, listen, everybody, thank you for tuning in. I sure appreciate you. Did anybody have any questions for Hermione before we get out of here? Nikki, I'm gonna connect the 2 of you, or you all, of course, you all can reach out on Facebook, connect yourselves, okay, and arrange to talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. I'm sure or Hermione can help you out with that. At any rate, I'm starting to pop sweat because as you know, I turned my air conditioner off because of the issue, and I don't want to turn the fan up because you'll hear, don't want to hear that. So anyway, thank you everybody for joining in. Thank you, Hermione. We'll talk to you again on next month. We'll do the office interviews. It has been a pleasure. I'm Sharita K-Ted. This is Renew, Refresh, and Set Your Life, where we talk about people who make major changes in their life, of which writing is one for you. Is writing a new thing? Do you journal?
Yes, I do. But this was something. Well, you were about to end, so I won't go into the story about.
No, yeah, go ahead. I want to talk. Go ahead and talk about that. No, really.
When I saw your post on Facebook about the project, and I knew I would journal and write sometime, and I just began to pray, and I asked God. I was like, Lord, I want to use every gift that you've given me, and so
yeah,
opportunity presented itself, and once it did, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. But I remember back in college, I had one of my professors tell me, after she read the paper, she said, if you do not go into business or become an accountant, she said, please write. Please
write. Well, all of the authors, I feel like, going to do a book. I know some already have some in the making, but I think it has probably sparked something new in everybody who's taking part of the project, and that you know, I think that's wonderful. I hope that we'll all be reading each other's book. Anyway, we're out of here. I'm Sharita Cadenhead. Good night, everybody. Thank you for joining. I'll post the link to the replay in just a little while. Have a good evening.